Hi, I'm Mary Kopczynski, the CEO of Regalytics. Here's your update on this week's 15,983 regulatory alerts. But first, I must say happy birthday to my little boy who's 5 today. Can you believe it? The regulator of the week is the International Sustainability Standards Board. They published their first official sustainability disclosure standards, and the world is talking. And what are they talking about? Our topic of the week, which is climate change. Climate change is all over the globe, which is, for the record, in no way unusual. It is one of the absolute most talked about areas in the regulatory world for the past few years standing. But what caught my eye this week was there were so many that had really specific financial and practical considerations related to it. It wasn't just about justice or drama or caring about the earth. It was much more about safety and continuing our way of life in the place that we currently live. The Central Bank of Barbados, for example, is worried about food security for the islands. So they're equipping their local farmers with agroforestry, aquaponics, and hydroponics to maximize the productivity of crops, including in extreme weather. And then take the Netherlands Bank, the Central Bank of Netherlands. They too are very impacted by changing water levels. The bank, again, the central bank, is worried about the threat to the economy and specifically the financial sector of Netherlands, and is asking what it can do to better promote change. Singapore as well. The Accounting and Corporate Regulatory Authority, as well as the Singapore Exchange Regulation, has asked for feedback on their decision to use the newly International Sustainability Standards Board reporting standards as early as 2025. The Autorité de contrôle prudentiel et de résolution of France, they published the assumptions and expectations of their new climate stress test exercise, which is exclusively dedicated to insurers. The test is voluntary again, but in 2020, 15 insurance groups participated, which covered 75% of the total balance sheet of insurers in France. Nova Scotians in Canada will be receiving a direct cash rebate known as the Climate Action Incentive starting on the 14th. The rebate is paid for with the proceeds of the price on pollution that came into effect on Nova Scotia on July 1st of this year, so 14 days after. The polluters pay and the locals get the money for the pollution. Environment and Climate Change Canada, which is the regulator behind it, claims it's great and it's working, but 2 weeks in, we'll see how it goes. It's certainly innovative. And then there's the other monster, which is the Bank of International Settlements and the Basel Committee on Banking Supervision. They have a set of core principles that are essentially the minimum standards for a bank to operate. And I mean, of course, a big bank. And it's a major source of stress, believe me, what onerous rules and capital requirements come out of this committee. This week, Basel came out with a request for thoughts on the new core principles, which is taking a look at new risks that exist in the world today that weren't as prevalent since its last update during the financial crisis. 2 notable categories include an entire section on what they call new risks, which include climate-related financial risks and the digitalization of finance, as well as another one which was non-bank financial intermediation, so basically fintechs. And let us not forget the good old US of A. Hawaii won this week for the Most Passed Bills award with a whopping 32, including 6 bills addressing climate change. California is throwing money out there everywhere. The Department of Forestry and Fire Protection, which is called CAL FIRE, announced the availability of nearly $20 million in funding for grants to conserve and protect environmentally important privately owned forest land. CAL FIRE, along with the USDA Forest Service and California Relief, is offering $50,000 during Arbor Week, which are community tree planting grants. And my fave, New York. Get this. Seriously, this is not a joke. Shark monitoring drones. So cool. That's it this week for Regalytics. Join me every Wednesday for your dose of regulatory news, and happy birthday, little